Welcome to the Uncommon Man podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Jon.
I'm Devin.
And we are happy to be here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. We're coming off the cusp as we record this of Easter weekend, and it's kind of like the Christianity Super Bowl, if you will.
The church Super Bowl.
The church Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But we had a lot. We had a busy weekend, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Our church did a egg drop where they flew.
Helicopter egg drop.
Yeah.
Because there was one church, at least, that did a crane.
They did a crane?
Mm-hmm.
How did that work?
They just dropped them from a crane.
There's no way that, did they have...
Watched it happen. They did it.
Did it work? Like, was it successful?
Yeah.
Dang. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a crane.
I haven't either, but...
We had spinning fan blades and a helicopter, and I feel like that's cooler. But anyways, yeah, so 15,000 people showed up to Veterans Park in Alabaster, Alabama.
Did we get like an actual number, or are we just rounding to 15?
They used they put it, from what I understand, it was like an AI drone that like either Cultivate or the police or someone used.
It's probably the police drone
to count that.
Theirs was the only one there.
You didn't have your drone. You didn't have a drone out.
No, there's a helicopter flying around. No, I didn't have a drone out.
Oh, come on.
It's like, no.
Anyway, so then the very next day, and by the way, at this egg drop, we gave away 5,000 hot dogs.
God. 2 of them were to me.
Yep, 2 were to me. And then I took about 3 or 4 home so that we had dinner that night.
Were there leftovers?
Yeah, there was maybe 40 or 45 hot dogs left over. I'll put it to you this way, though.
That's a lot of hot dogs, but when you cooked 5,000, like, that's not that much.
I'll tell you this one. I don't want to look at a hot dog for a very long time. So, and I'm somebody who loves hot dogs. But that, I digress. Anyway, so then Easter Sunday, from what I gathered, the final count was just over like 1,700, or right at 1,700 between 5 experiences. That was awesome.
Yeah,
to see, man. We were pulling in office chairs for people to have a seat.
That was pretty. Yeah, I looked in the lobby. I was in the lobby and I looked over and I saw chairs from my office, and I was like,
Jon just looks over and he goes, "Why's my office chair out here?"
No, I saw somebody sitting in it, and I was like, "All right, cool." Like, I mean,
we didn't know how to tell you, but you were replaced.
That's how you find out.
Yeah, exactly. No, so but to see that, and I remember going actually to a friend of mine during the middle of one of the experiences that we had, and I just told him, I said, "This is kind of how I picture heaven." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Just listen." And it was just the worship going on in the background, and it was beautiful to just hear thousands of people singing in unison and harmony to the Lord, and then worship. And to me, that's just a cool thing. But then, my wife and I had this discussion later on. What if we treated every Sunday like that? Like, there were a lot of people who we call them in the Christian world, we call them CEOs. They're Christmas and Easter's only. And I just wonder, like, what could our lives look like what could our country look like, our families, if we treated every Sunday like that, So, but it was a great weekend, a lot of fun to be a part of, very busy for the advancement and the growth of the kingdom. And to me, that's ultimately what it's all about. So we are here tonight with our Cultivate Church coffee mugs.
Yeah, we both have one. And that's honestly because I'm using this little travel one because I didn't feel like washing 2 cups because all my coffee cups are dirty.
It's actually an awesome looking travel mug.
It is. Ooh, you know what? This coffee mug, Trevor, this coffee mug is the reason you and I had a conversation to begin with in Japan on a ship floating around in the ocean.
You mean a tube?
No, it was a ship.
It was a ship? You weren't on a sub?
Ship. No, I was out of the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ship. But yeah, this is what he saw.
And I need you to put a bigger emphasis on the P in ship.
What did I say?
That you said ship, but I'm just saying it didn't come off that way.
I'm saying ship for the record.
Thank you.
Anyway, I was sitting there like watching a movie or something on my iPad, and he saw this cup.
That's cool.
And he was like, "Hey, what's that?"
Shout out Trevor, man.
Yep.
And then somebody messaged us this week and said that they might be working on a coffee sponsorship deal for the show.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's not.
No.
Sad.
I emailed him.
Sad.
We have nothing to offer. So, hey, tell your friends about this podcast so we can get a free bag of coffee, please. No, let me retract that. Not so we can get a free bag of coffee, but
I just don't listen. Just don't listen to John. Okay. Anyways, as we go
tell your friends about the podcast.
Tell your friends about the podcast. There you go.
Force them to listen to it.
That's right. So, a great Easter weekend, but we're back. We're here, episode number 16.
Talking about, that was a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 16.
Episode
about
16.
How we talk to others and to ourselves. So we've said before, what you do matters, how you speak to people matters, everything matters. Mm-hmm. Today it's specifically on how you speak.
Did you know this? 25% of adults talk to themselves out loud. Is that weird to you?
No, I'm calling bullcrap on that.
Why do you call bullcrap on that?
It's far more than that.
Like, I mean out loud. Like, they have full-on out loud dialogue conversations with themselves out loud for other people to be, for other people to hear.
Yeah.
You call bullcrap on that.
Yeah, it's more than 25.
Well, I mean, you got to go to the next statistic here. It says 96% of adults engage in an internal silent dialogue, vocalizing their thoughts, like internally.
And the other 4% are psychopaths?
I don't know. Probably. That's a good way of putting it. Like for example, if you're out in public and you hear somebody talking to themselves.
Yeah, okay. If you talk out loud to yourself around other people more than occasionally, then, that's weird. But I talk out loud to myself all the time, but nobody's around to hear me. Otherwise, I'm talking sort of at the person that's there. If I'm just talking out loud.
I also think more men probably do this in the hardware store or like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or something like that than they do anywhere else because they're thinking about a project and they're like, okay, if I've got
or while you're working on the project, under your car, under your house, on your house.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you ever like work on something and you talk to that inanimate object?
Yeah.
You're like, get in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's more like, no voltage? What do you mean you have no voltage? What are you talking about? You're supposed to be 12 volts right now. Why are you not? It's more like that.
I also say this because you don't, but I do. I play golf. And I will say this. Golfers talk to themselves out loud.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
For the record, I don't play golf because I know how dangerous it would be for me.
What do you mean?
I would spend way too much time and effort and money that I shouldn't be spending on it because I know I would love it.
That's it. I'm taking you golfing with me.
I mean, I've been once, but
I'm taking you golfing.
I won't take it up like as a hobby. I can't.
You're missing out, man.
I don't know how to do anything less than 110%, and I would want to do it 110%, and I don't have time or money for that.
Well, you know what? We'll see. Golfers of the world unite to help me get John Pearson into golfing. In Jesus' name. Anyways, so
we would be remiss if we didn't start this off with Proverbs 12:18. One of the it's the first verse that came to mind. One of my favorite verses in general. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing.
And really what I think this verse is really getting at is what you say to other people matters.
Right.
It's how you speak to them. Do you speak negatively about them or about a situation? Especially if, like for me, I've always kind of viewed it this way, is if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're using like an obscene amount of profanity, what that tells me is you lack vocabulary. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Or they just choose not to use it. Or, I don't know. I don't. But
I absolutely
some
view it as a
people-
lack of vocabulary.
no, it is. You're not wrong. But it also could be that they just choose to for some reason.
Well, and a lot of it is habit.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Also, not to be confused with Proverbs 12:18, but 18:21. Rearrange the numbers there a little bit. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
exactly. What you say to other people does matter. I think that if you're going to especially speak to somebody that you don't know, when you bring forth encouragement out of that, or you speak positivity, you are viewed in a different light. Think about it this way. In today's day and age, it is so easy to impress people. So easy. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I'm walking.
You mean like a first impression?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she turns around and so I'm walking into the store and I see this woman coming up from behind me through the mirror on the door, and I held the door. Like, I open the door, hold the door open for her. She says, thank you, gets inside and says, you don't know how rare that is now. Like, out of nowhere, that's what she said to me. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, you holding the door for a woman. I said, honestly, I think it's like, that's how I was raised.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
So,
I will say today, I was walking out of the, I don't know, some store. I was with someone else, and I looked, and there was a lady like crossing the parking lot. And it was like that weird place where you're like, do I stand here and wait? Because it was going to be a solid 50 seconds to a minute. And I was like, no, I don't think we do.
I know. So I saw this put the other day on some reel, I think, somewhere, but it basically said, if you're that person that holds the door for longer than 10 seconds to get the person that's walking towards the door to speed up, you're a jerk.
Yeah, because then at a certain point, depending on the other person, like they do feel like they have to walk faster or something because
you immediately make them feel like they have to walk
it's like when
faster.
You're crossing the parking lot and somebody stops for you and you do like a little half jog sort of thing to make it look like you're walking faster, but you're really not. You're just putting forth a little bit more effort. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad. I mean, it's going to get us off topic there.
Well, no, that's fine. I usually am the one doing that, so it's nice. It's
right.
nice to know that it's
It
it's your
is
turn.
100% you all the time. I'm just agreeing with you, but it is it is rare. She's right.
Well, but that's where it gets, like, my point here is it's not that hard to impress other people. You know, when I think back to
Specifically with first impressions, I think in some ways it's harder to impress other people because of what they see on the internet and they think is reality that's not.
This is true. Now, the internet does tell a bunch of lies.
Yeah,
I know,
with
shocker, spoiler.
A first impression with something like that in person, 100%, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, or if you're doing the whole, pay for the car behind you thing in the drive-thru or whatever like that. Those are things that are so rare. And I know we're talking about actions, but I think the same can be said for how you talk to other people. That has to matter to some degree, whether you know the person or not. If you know the person, it's all the more reason to speak positivity and life into that person or into the situation, because everybody is wired to be so negative. So if you want to be different, you want to be uncommon, speak positivity about it.
Yeah.
And how I think about it this way. If I ask you, John, how was your day? And every single day, 5 out of 5 days of the work day or of the work week, you go, oh man, today sucked. You know what? I'm going to eventually quit asking. I have my answer. Because ultimately, nobody wants to be around somebody who consistently complains. Crap goes wrong in life. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we live in a fallen society. We live in a fallen world.
Yeah. That being said, you don't have to lie about it and say it was great. You can say you can talk about, I don't know, crappy
but that's
things
where
that
we've had that
without
discussion.
complaining.
Right.
necessarily.
We've had that discussion in the past though about having your people, having your group of guys, your group of girls, whoever that you can go to, that you can talk to. I'm just saying, women listen to this podcast too. I'm just saying. All right, but
shout out to all three of you. We love you.
But I mean, having your people that you can go to, like if you ask me, I'm going to go, yeah, here's what was good, here's what was not good, because I can be more open and honest with you about it. If Joe Schmo that I just held the door for asked me, am I having a good day? Yeah, man, I'm doing good, thanks. Right? Because I don't know you.
In general,
I'm not
alive, so you're doing pretty good.
That's right, man. I woke up today with breath in my lungs. I only got 4 hours of sleep last night, but dang it, I'm here.
Oh no, here's a hot take. Would we not be better if we were dead?
What?
Like, you went to heaven? Like, is that not preferable? Like, literally being in heaven.
Yeah, but okay, I get where you're going with that, but that like you just drove this train straight off the tracks.
No, I'm just saying, like, yes, being alive is preferable, but like, technically speaking, wouldn't it be better if we were in heaven?
Okay, sure. Life would be better.
Life, is it called life? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay, but then like you're foregoing raising the rest of your children. And
I mean,
their
from
lives,
a selfish standpoint. From a very 100%, selfish standpoint.
Sure. No, listen, I would say, I can't believe you even went down that road. God bless America. Drink your coffee.
I'm still alive, so it's great.
You just got to sit there.
If you weren't alive and you went to heaven, still great. So I don't think it's a very good comeback. That's all I'm saying.
You just got to sit there and drink your coffee. I got this episode. Okay. Moving forward. Before you drive this even further into the oblivion, the note I put here, speaking negatively, especially when someone's being vulgar, says more about who they are than who you are. We have to be careful about we've said this before about being careful about the people that we listen to, that we choose to listen to. Mm-hmm. But in the same sense, understanding that the more you speak negatively towards other people is more of an indication, in this case, therefore, about you.
Yeah.
And I think there's just some people who are just constantly negative people. And that's what's wrong. That's a problem.
Yeah, some people are just straight up negative Nancy's all the time.
There's some people that I legit could go up to them with $1 million in cash and they're going to find something to complain about, cry about.
Yeah. Some people just complain about everything. And that's not who we want to be. We don't want to, additionally, not even with just complaining, if you are just talking negatively in any way towards someone, especially if it's somebody that has, I don't know, somebody's dealing with something and they're just talking to you about it. Like, don't be negative Nancy with them.
Like,
speak some positivity. Try to pick them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, don't just tell them, like, hey, get over it. Life sucks. Sometimes that's what you would do. Sometimes, I mean, it depends. Sometimes life sucks and you do need to get over it. But I'm not going to sit here and talk negatively towards you. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bash everything. Like, politics. I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not going to talk about politics with anyone ever anyway, but I'm also not going to sit here and bash the president or anybody, the mayor. Like, I'm just not going to do that. It's not helpful. It's just not.
Like, I remember it was not too long ago that I was telling you, we were having a texting conversation earlier, you and I were, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off this because this is literally you.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so this is interesting.
You sent me a text message.
Just today?
Yeah, this was today. Oh, because yesterday was kind of a little bit of a rough day, and you knew that. Mm-hmm. And so John sends me this text, and this is literally, I'm going to give you over the span of a 10-minute texting conversation, folks. at 1:08, I get a text message from John, which your image is you fighting the bear. So it shows up whenever you call, which, by the way, you called yesterday when I was on a Zoom meeting with a client, and I was actually sharing my screen. And so out pops this picture of John Pierce wrestling a bear, and my client turns around, she goes, "Is that person fighting a bear?" And I said, "It's a very long story. Don't worry about it." Anyway, so it slides away. So at 1:08, John sends me this text after knowing that I had a bad day yesterday. He said, "You good?" I said, "I guess. My 3-month-old woke me up at 4:30 this morning, and I haven't gone back to sleep since. So I'm exhausted. It's been a long week, but I'm going to get through it." John Pierce's response, in all of its infinite and glorious wisdom: "That sucks. Nothing else. That's it. Period. Blank. End of story. That sucks." I, honest to God, feel like I could come to you and be like, "John, my world is over, man. My wife left me, and my kids are gone, and I lost my job, I lost my house, and I lost everything, man." John Pierce says, "That sucks, man. You want to go record?" I feel like that would be you.
Let's go talk about it.
Let's go. Yeah. Anyways, but that is the way that you are, though. But if you, every time you asked me and all I did was complain, I think there's something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
If all you do is complain and you're not sitting there going, "You know what? Thank God I had this today." And if you're having one of those days, find one thing at the end of the day that you're thankful for about that day. Doesn't matter how bad of a day that was. Find one thing that you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as you know, horrible day, right? Very frustrating. Very bad day very emotional day on a lot of heavy fronts for me. But whenever I hugged my little girl and she looked me dead in the face, she put a hand on each cheek and she said, "I love you, Daddy."
Oh.
And then went to sleep. Dude, done. And I said, that's what I'm thankful for, Lord. I'm thankful that I have a daughter that's told me she loves me. You know what I'm saying? Perspective matters. How you talk to other people matters.
Yeah. There's another specific thing here that I was just thinking about. A lot of us are in positions where we have to give feedback to people in some way. Mm. And I have experienced this from the perspective of the person giving the feedback. I've experienced it far more from the perspective of the person getting the feedback, for the good and the bad. I've gotten both ends of it. Mm-hmm. If you are giving feedback to someone and all you tell them is all of the things they're doing wrong, if you're being very negative, if the whole conversation is just negative, it's probably, it's not going to go
I'm
great.
not coming back to you.
And,
if I'm asking for your help with something and all you're doing is telling me where I suck.
Right. I mean, it could be that they don't have a choice because you're their boss, but
no, that's a crappy boss then.
But yeah, I'm just saying don't do that. Like, I've experienced both ends of it.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now where I can tell if I'm about to get feedback. Like, there's certain people in different areas of my life that do the same thing. And they tell me something, typically, it starts with how good I do one thing. And I'm like, oh, crap, what did I screw up?
Yeah.
But whatever that is they have to tell me is far better received. Yeah. And you also just have to be willing to receive criticism anyway, but that's another topic. But you can't go into things like that just being all, you suck. I mean, maybe they do suck, right? But don't tell them that in those words.
Yeah, I call it the rubber hammer technique.
I call it sandwich, but go ahead.
Okay, so if we have a nail, okay, and I've got to drive this nail into this board, okay, if I have a rubber hammer and a metal hammer, okay, let's say I grab the metal hammer first. That metal hammer strikes that nail, you hear it, you see it, you feel it, especially if you hit your hand, right? It does what it was designed to do. Mm-hmm. The hammer drives the nail into the board. But if you grab a rubber hammer, it softens the blow a little bit. The job still gets done. The message was still received.
kind of rubber hammer are you using? Must be some really soft wood and a really hard rubber.
Yeah, it actually is a really hard rubber. But anyways, like what I'm getting at,
I get it.
Is,
I get the
is,
analogy.
is that the job still gets done, and it's how you deliver that message. If all you're doing, and this is when you're leading people, when you're leading your children, whatever this looks like for you, apply it however you will. But if all you're doing is tell them where they screwed up at, and here's where you suck at, there's a problem. Like I can remember being a kid, and my dad listens to this podcast, so he's probably not going to remember this. But I remember there was a baseball game when, because I grew up playing all sorts of sports, probably why I love sports as an adult. But I played this baseball game, and I think I batted like 5 or 6 times this game, right? And I went like 5 for 6 this game. And it was just a great game, right? I mean, I'm not exactly the most athletic guy in the world, but I had a great game that particular day. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget getting home. And there was one error that I made in the field, playing, I think, outfield. And then there was one strikeout where I chased the ball. And we got home, and I remember we're on the way home, and I remember I'm telling my dad, I did this, and this. And as soon as I got home from that game, my dad told me to grab my glove and go to the backyard. And he pitched to me. And if I think it was if I chased it, I had to do something else. And from there on, I never chased another ball all season. But I remember thinking then, holy crap, man, I went 5 for 6. I scored people. I threw people out. I had a great game, and all you can talk about is the error I made and the fact that I struck out once. But it made me a little bit more disciplined, and I understood what my dad was trying to do. But if all you're doing when you're trying to correct someone or to help someone or to teach them or whatever is tell them where they're wrong at, you are not going to be effective. The question you have to ask yourself is this: are you speaking life into people?
Yeah, or speak life into people. Speak words of encouragement. We don't. I know sitting around, a bunch of dudes sitting around watching the game.
Oh, we're going to clown on each other all day long.
Yeah, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it gets to a point where you're just like you can pick on each other.
Hey, guys right? Do that by natural. That's all right.
That's a normal thing. But like, and even zeroing in on somebody's, I don't know, black eye or something that they got playing golf. I don't know. Can you get a black eye playing golf? Probably.
The answer would, I mean, yeah, if another golfer sucker punched you,
whatever.
But
Everybody zeroing in on that guy, his black eye, something like that's even normal to some extent. But it gets to a point. You have to use some discretion there.
Yep.
Like we're not going to beat the person down.
Yep.
Now, is someone going to get beat down because they're black? I mean, maybe, right? Probably not, but maybe.
I don't know, man. There was an episode that you and I did, and you beat me up the whole freaking episode. So, I'm sorry. That'll be the only time.
How we talk to people is incredibly important.
That's right.
And also, how we talk to ourselves is important.
Well, can I back up on something?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Before you keep going, the last question I had here is that we need to ask ourselves is: are we speaking life into people, or are we contributing to the problem? Because most people, when you try and point out flaws about them, most people are genuinely aware of them. So, are you speaking life into them, or are you contributing to the problem? I think that's the deciding question. If you're not offering any kind of encouragement or help for that person, you're contributing to the problem. Sorry. We can go ahead. Yes. How you talk about other people matters, but then as you just said, John,
how you talk about yourself.
Bingo.
So you might have something, I think this applies more to women, but I think most men probably don't look in the mirror every morning and say, I hate my nose or I hate whatever. But Negative self-talk is just as bad.
You have to speak positivity into yourself.
Your tongue has the power for life and death, not just for other people.
Let's slowly. It has the power to speak life and what? Death. It has the power to speak death, meaning if you speak death over yourself, why should anybody take you seriously in life if all you do is talk crap about how bad you are?
Well, they won't anyway, because if you're doing things like that, you'll have zero confidence.
Exactly.
So,
but confidence is contagious. Confidence is absolutely contagious. And you see that, especially when you watch sports. Confidence is contagious, especially in like my favorite sport being football. If one person on that team is down on the offense or the defense, it typically bleeds through the rest of the team. If one person is having a great game, a lot of other people are willing to step up to the plate to then have that great game because confidence is contagious. You're right. Women look more so in the mirror and go, well, I don't have a flat stomach or I don't have whatever, more so than men do. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there are men out there who wish that there were certain things about themselves. Maybe it is about their physique. Maybe it's about how they respond to situations. Maybe it's whatever you want to call it.
9 times out of 10, you can do something about it.
Exactly. And that was actually, you skipped all the way to the end there. That was the last note I said, you can do something about it.
Oh, my bad.
But ask yourself this, because then there's the other side of the equation. There are things you're born with that sometimes you can do stuff about, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's things that you're not born with, but that have happened as a result of decisions you've made in your life. And that, I think, is the stuff that you have the option to be able to do something about.
Right.
I didn't like how I looked. Okay. But rather than just going, well, God just made me with a little bit of a spare tire. No, I got up.
No, well, he didn't.
No, he didn't. I got up and I started running and I started doing things that, honestly, since I feel better.
Did you say you lost like 8 pounds?
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
Proud of you.
But the biggest thing that there were 2 things that were different about this is one, I told nobody outside of my wife and you. I told nobody. Like my brother came to me and he goes, "Are you working out again?" And I said, "Why do you ask?" And he goes, "I don't know. You look a little bit better." And I went, "Thanks." I styled my hair today, bro. And he goes, no, like, I mean, you look good. And I said, "Yeah, thanks. I woke up like this." No, I'm just kidding. But so I told him, I said, "Yeah, no, I've started running again and trying to do some exercising. And I used my 35-pound 3-year-old to do push-ups with, and she loves it and she thinks it's awesome. And then on the 10th one or every 10, I throw her and she lands on the bed and it's fun. That's how we, yeah. So, but that was just one of the things that I wanted to change about me. So no, God did not make me that way. I made myself that way because of poor decisions.
So you had 2 choices though. You could complain about it, like we talked a minute ago. You could complain about it and this, that, and the other, talk negatively, sit on the couch and eat Doritos. Or you could get off the couch, put shoes on, and do something about it. You had a different perspective. You chose to have a more positive outlook on it instead of being negative about it. There's something you don't like. I'm sorry. Are you doing something to change it? If you're not, like, shut up. Like, for real.
Quit crying.
Yeah, stop crying. If there's nothing you can do about it, all right, I don't know. Go see a therapist. I don't know what to tell you.
No, like I said, John is not the guy that you want to go to. I literally detailed out why I was having a bad day, and John's like, "That sucks. What are we recording tonight?" Anyway, so, and side notes, have you ever had Doritos and dip?
What kind of dip?
Like I don't know, like French onion dip or
I
hell of a
have had it
dip.
in French onion dip. What you got to do is you got to get the jarred queso stuff. It's not that great, but when you put it in the microwave mixed with salsa for like 30 seconds,
throw that over a thing of
It's like-
Doritos. Oh my god! Even
you
add
dip
some
it.
jalapenos.
you dip it. Yeah, you can add jalapenos,
Jesus,
or you
and
can
the
just get the
shepherds.
spicy salsa or whatever. It's like really white trash, basically. Rotel is what it is without
Don't
the
care.
sausage, but it's pretty good.
Call me fat. Don't care. It's delicious. All right. Anyways, so
I don't know why that.
how we?
Why are we talking about
you
Doritos?
brought up Doritos.
All right, I'll say Cheetos next time.
Yeah, Cheetos are gross. Anyways, so
What?
I'm not a big Cheeto lover.
All right. Anyway,
Anyways, so
choose positivity.
choose positivity, but also in speaking about yourself, ask yourself a couple of different things. Am I comparing myself to somebody? Comparison, as we all know, is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I also believe comparison is one of the enemy's greatest tools. He loves to use this. He loves to use it also a lot at women more physically, but with men, he uses it as
With men, it's more like your wallet or
you
your
don't
job,
have
your
this
status.
Yeah, your status.
possessions,
Like I had a friend of mine.
fleet of cool old cars or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had a friend of mine one time that he flat out told me, he goes, "If you want me to be honest, I want what you have." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, you got the house, you got the wife, you got the beautiful little girl, you got the nice car." And I was like, "I drive a freaking Jeep Cherokee, bro. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "I want that." And I noticed that the very next girl he dated was like had a similar personality to my wife. And I was like, whoa, we need to have a conversation about this, homie. And
He was trying to find wife material.
yeah, because, and look, I agree. My wife is wife material, dadgummit. She's beautiful. She is smart, way smarter than me. But I mean, that's what he was looking for. And he was trying to model that after what he had seen. Comparison. And when you try to compare yourself to other people, you lose every single time.
But at the same time,
And it's not
good on
even
him for
close.
trying to go get what he wanted. He probably dated her and was like, I don't like this, this, and this, and dated somebody else. It was like, all right, there we go.
Yeah, I think he dated 2 other women and then he just got married recently.
Nice.
So, and to a very good girl who treats him right. And, it's truly a happily ever after thing.
So he's working on putting the family together.
Essentially.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They just got married a year ago.
See what I did there? See what I did there? You're saying this guy shouldn't have done this. And I was like, positivity. I just drilled it right in there.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for bringing the car back on to the road after you drove it off the cliff earlier. So, y'all should see the look John's giving me right now.
I mean, you're the one that brought up Doritos.
Anyways, yes, that is true. All right, fine. 1-to-1, fine. But stop with the comparison. Also ask yourself this: is this something somebody told you about you that you're overthinking? That's a dangerous game too. Is it maybe a lie that the enemy's told you about yourself that you've believed? If you, for example, to say, I'm an okay dad, or I'm not a good dad, I want to be a better dad, or whatever. That's great. But if you're not willing to do those things, and how you choose to speak about yourself absolutely matters in that case.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, I'm not very good at many things in this world, but there's 3 things I'm really good at. I'm good at being a husband, I'm good at being a father, and I'm good at being a friend. That's pretty much the extent of it. Okay. But those are 3 things that I'm really good at. And those are 3 things that I tell myself. Do I make mistakes? 100%. As a father, as a husband, heck yeah, I do. Absolutely. I made a very big mistake. I think it was 2 or 3 nights ago towards my wife when a box of rice fell on her head. And then she got upset and like kick the dog bowl behind her, and I told her to quit throwing a fit and tell me if she was okay. Yeah, I don't recommend that. That was a bad idea. That was a fail as a husband. All right, guilty as charged. Okay, but I still know, based on how I talk to her, how I talk towards her, that I'm a good husband. How my actions follow that up. Same thing as being a father, same thing as being a friend. Ask yourself, to what is your measuring stick? What are you measuring yourself by, and what are you comparing yourself to?
And I'll say this to kind of solidify while we're talking about this a little bit. I heard this somewhere last week, and Devin reminded me that it was actually part of the message at church on Sunday. Every single word that came out of the mouth of Jesus was extremely intentional. He did not say things just for the sake of hearing his teeth hit together. Right? He said things, he meant what he said, and he said it with everything, with intentionality. We should model how we live our lives after Jesus, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the things he did.
Yeah. He was very, very
We
intentional.
need to be intentional with our words.
Do you remember the last word he said on the cross? Do you remember what that was? Brandon, our senior pastor said it Sunday. What was it?
Tetelestai?
Tetelestai. Literally means it's finished.
It has different meanings, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, everything he said was calculated. And I'm not, and look, you're not Jesus. So everything, I'm not, you're not, nobody is besides Jesus himself. But if we are more tactical and careful about the things we say towards other people and about ourselves, and calculate it and ask yourself, is this going to bring life or death to somebody?
Yeah, and part of doing that might be to expand your vocabulary.
Yeah.
So maybe go read a book.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a couple I'm reading through right now. I think you also have to ask yourself this. What decisions have you made that have led you to a place that you begin to question things about yourself, things about how you talk, how you speak? Because I think until you know the origin of a problem, you can't truly begin to solve it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, there are things that are beyond our control, right? It's not always in our control if somebody gets cancer. If somebody gets in a bad car wreck that paralyzes them for the rest of their life. There are things that are beyond our control, and we're not simply saying that you can't have that moment to feel bad for yourself, to throw a pity party for one or whatever, but it needs to be just that, a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be something that sticks.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to get around it. Compartmentalize if you have to. Deal with it.
But be tactical, be calculated about the things that you said, just as Jesus did. And look, Jesus felt all of the same emotions that you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before on this podcast, and I'll probably say it again. There's nothing on this earth that you're ever going to go through that Jesus himself never experienced or felt. No emotion. He felt it. He knows that. So why not go to the source? So, and ultimately, as John said earlier, you can do something about it. Generally, you can. Talking about yourself matters. How you talk to yourself and how you talk to other people matters. It does. Every word you say, you have the chance to bring honor and glory to your Father, to the God of the universe. And that's the God of the universe that loved you enough to send a son to die for you.
And praise up.
Yeah. Any final notes before we get out of here?
Nope.
Awesome. I'm going to pray for you guys. Father, we love you. Lord, thank you so much for this platform. John and I pray every single week, God, that you hide us behind the cross. Ultimately, Lord, that people see you, that they know you in a more intimate and deeper way, to know that you are the God of the universe and that the God of the universe loves them beyond what they could ever ask or begin to imagine. And so, God, I pray for every person under the sound of my voice listening to this. God, that you would allow them and enable them and encourage them to speak positively to other people, to speak positively about themselves. Because ultimately, Lord, it is our responsibility to make heaven a more crowded place and to bring you honor and glory. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks for listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you know someone who would enjoy this, please pass it along. You can follow us on Instagram at uncommon.man or reach out at theuncommonman.podcast@gmail.com. Keep pursuing excellence, and above all, pursue Christ.